See ya. Alright, we're gonna start off with some Star Wars. So, this is Star Wars #1. It is, as you can see there, it is a reprint, but this is a 1978 reprint, I want to say. 1977. Actually, no, this is like the second printing. It's still like vintage. This is the first printing. I have a graded copy, but they are identical inside, so it doesn't really matter. Can't read this one because it's in the slab, but yeah, it's fine. The Star Wars comic with Luke and Leia in love. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to start off with some Star Wars, and then we will go to, I think probably do a Ghost Rider after that, and then we'll do some Spider-Man. We'll see how long this takes. I don't know. But, yeah. Hey, Mayo Dongs, how's it going? California Kid, Ranid Carter, Bacon Genie, what's up? Gamoch. There's Gamoch. California Kid, what's up? Alright, so here we go. We can just get started here. Hopefully the audio and everything is good. I was going to try to do like maybe a little bit of a zoom in once I actually get reading. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. We can always adjust things as we go forward too. Did you just casually say my name correct? I hope so. Alright, so here we go. This came out in 1977. This actually released, I think before the film released. This was like kind of promo material. The old school books look so amazing. I love the look and feel and the smell. I wish I could stream the smell, because the smell is great. But this was like the first thing Star Wars like ever released. This was before the film came out. And so there's actually scenes in the book that were deleted scenes from the film. You might recognize if you've watched the deleted scenes from the film. But this was based on the original script, which they ended up cutting some scenes out of for the movie. Please no. Yes, I always love the smell of the inside of the 70s books. Yeah, they're great. They're great. Alright, so let's see if we can kind of zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully it looks good for you. I think you remember the smell. You have 100-year-old books. As much as I love old sci-fi, you hate the smell. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love the smell of old books, but my mom is like allergic to it, basically. Every time she smells an old book, she sneezes. So different people have different reactions. So this was written by Roy Thomas. Many of you might know him. He basically was the man who replaced Stan Lee. He basically took Stan Lee's job in the 70s and 80s. He kind of became the head editor guy of Marvel, and basically took on a lot of the roles that Stan Lee did back in the 60s. Sniffing all the paper dust. If I read very old stuff for longer than 1 or 2 hours, your nose hurts. Oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, Roy Thomas, he wrote the first, actually quite a few of the first Star Wars issues. And he wrote the first 114 Conan comic books. He was really, really big into the reviving Conan, which I think is really awesome. And I may do a Conan series at some point, because that is another series that I collect. He was also the co-creator of Ghost Rider, along with Gary Friedrich. And then the illustrator here is Howard Chaykin, who has gone on to do many, many, many things. He actually has a series out right now under Image Comics, I believe. I forget what it's called. It's like, I don't know, some sort of meta thing about being a comic artist. I don't know. Anyway, so we have Roy Thomas as the scripter and the editor. We have Howard Chaykin as the illustrator, and Jim Novak is the letterer, because back in the day, people had to actually draw all the letters in. They didn't have just like slam the typewriter into the page or anything. They had to actually draw all of the letters. So you had to have a letterer. It's kind of neat. Adapting the greatest space fantasy of all. Yeah, so back in the 60s, Artie Simek, he unfortunately died in 1975, but pretty much every Marvel comic done in the 60s was all lettered by Artie Simek. He was like a really great calligrapher. And if you ever read a 1960s Marvel comic, then he most likely did the lettering. Yep, all hand-drawn. Alright, so I'll get started here. So, Star Wars, adapted from the George Lucas film, 20th Century Fox release. So the first 6 issues are a retelling of the film, and then on issue 7 onwards, it's basically Marvel just doing their own thing, trying to figure out where to go with it. So this will be the first film, essentially, with the deleted scenes. Maybe a few things are changed, whatever. But there we go. It is a period of civil war in the galaxy. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters has challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome Galactic Empire. How does the how does it look to you guys? Is the lighting okay? Hopefully. All right. To crush the rebellion once and for all, the Empire is constructing a sinister new battle station, powerful enough to destroy an entire planet. Let's see if I can just... Whoop. You gonna do voices for each character? I'll try my best. Hey, Zeph. Okay. Its completion will spell certain doom for the champions of freedom. Striking from a fortress hidden among the billion stars of the galaxy, Rebel spaceships have won their first victory in a battle with the powerful Imperial Starfleet. The Empire fears that another defeat could bring 1,000 more solar systems into the rebellion, and Imperial control over the galaxy would be lost forever. Reenact the scenes with finger puppets. It's cool, some of the lettering's hard to read, but okay, alright. Okay, yeah, I wonder if it'd look better if I didn't zoom it in so much. I don't know. But, oh well. Hopefully it's okay. Do you like it zoomed in, or would you prefer to see the entire page? I'll leave that decision up to you. The letters look blurry zoomed in? Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, then we'll do it this way then. Zoomed out's better? Got it. Okay. Luke doesn't sound like an 80-year-old chain smoker lady, and Darth Vader sounds like a 5-year-old boy. I'll be disappointed. Alright. So, okay. But that is the near future. At this moment, above the yellow planet Tatooine, a gigantic Imperial starship pursues a rebel spacecraft. Its deadly laser bolts disintegrate the smaller ship's main solar fin with a soul-searing shudder. Okay, fair enough. Marie Severin is the colorist. I don't know why that credit is just randomly down here. All of the credits are on the top, except for the colorist, which is just randomly down here beneath all the text. It's an odd choice, but alright. We also have an ad for magic soap powder right here. And colorful magic rocks. Stink loads? Push the load out of sight into a cigarette. After the first puff, it will taste awful and smell worse. Guaranteed to stop cigarette moochers. Make people stop stealing your cigarettes. The credits where the color is. That's true. That's true. Alright, here we go. Yeah, ooh, lots of color here. Moments later, grappling rays have joined the two vessels, and suddenly the Imperial troops come pouring through a wide, gaping hole. This is madness, R2. Amid the chaos, it is strange, perhaps, to focus not upon the humans on both sides who live and violently die, but upon a pair of robots designated C3PO and R2D2. More familiarly, C3PO and R2D2. Okay. Yes, R2, I suppose you're right. We should flee this way, down the corridor. It looks as if there's no escape for the captain this time. Oh, I think something is melting. This is all your fault. I should have known better than to trust the logic of a half-sized thermocapsullary dehousing assister. Hey, wait up. Where are you going? Below on the death-white wasteland, which is the planet Tatooine, a bright sparkle in the morning sky catches a watchful eye. Luke Skywalker lowers his macro binoculars, standing transfixed for a moment. Then he leaps nimbly into the nearby recently repaired land speeder. While on the wounded starship, Lord Vader, the ship's information retrieval system has been wiped clean. Then this rebel will tell us what we need to know. I can't do James Earl Jones. Sorry. That guy's got like the greatest voice of all time. I can't match. Where is the data you intercepted? We're on a diplomatic mission. Liar! Where are those information tapes? This ship carries the crest of Alderaan. Is any of the royal family on board? You can't while we're out of here. Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith, tightens his fingers on the rebel officer's throat. But he still receives no answer. Unless it be the awful, unquestionable finality of a single, gruesome, snapping sound. The fool is dead. Start tearing the ship apart, piece by piece, until you have those tapes. And find the passengers of this vessel. I want them alive. Yes, Lord Vader. Oh, God. The Imperial troops fall over each other in their haste to leave, as much to escape their master's presence as to carry out his orders. Pretty sure Metroid Earl Jones. Pretty sure C-3PO is supposed to sound more like Morgan Freeman. Well, not far distant, R2, so this is where you vanished to. The unknown girl who kneels by the smaller robot is probably beautiful by human standards. Probably. But 3PO, being a robot himself, takes scant notice of her. And the next moment she is gone, as if she were a part of the thickening haze. Well, R2, what are we going to do? We'll be sent to the spice mines of Kessel, or even... Wait, where are you going? Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Oh, hey, look at that. We got, let Joe Weider build you a better body for just $7.98. Check that out. Get my new 1898 Power X Muscle Up kit for only $7.98 while they last. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that physique. Look at the muscularity. You need that. We also have an ad here for comic book back issues. Send 25 cents for my bonus package and detailed price list of 150,000 Marvel, DC, Dell, other comics now in stock. Holy moly. Free comic catalog, old comic books. There's all these ads for comics in here. Marvel comic back issues for sale. Too skinny? Personalized diet and muscle building system will add powerful muscles to your body. No long routines. Take 15 minutes daily. Araucana chickens, light-colored Easter eggs. There's an ad for buying chickens in here. That's great. High school course at home. Oh yeah, right there. High school course in spare time at home. If you have left school without finishing, write today for a free brochure, which gives the facts about our home study method, diploma, and accreditation. Yeah. We got poems wanted. Oh man. Karate? There's an ad for a karate class? Alright. Fun fact, similar ads were in old German pulp novels. Oh, okay. Cool. We're gonna get some really interesting ads when we do some of the 1960s stuff. There's ads where you can buy like mail order a live monkey and stuff like that. Only $8 you can get ripped. You should get on that. Yeah. Spice mines? We finally know where humanity is in Star Wars. Arrakis. You mean Arrakis? From Dune? Mission? What mission? What are you talking about? Hey, you're not permitted to go near those emergency life pods. Don't you call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of grease. Next is a new and closer explosion sends dust and debris and flames through the sub-hallway. 3PO finds that even a robot can change his mind. Then as the safety door snaps shut behind him, I'm going to regret this. How's the text looked here? Zoomed in? It looks okay on my screen, but... yeah, typo. Hi, Hatchling. Hey, frame rate. How you doing? This looks good? Okay. Some ads were really wrong. Okay, we'll do it like this for a little bit here. There's the sudden shudder of exploding latches, and the tiny life pod ejects from the disabled firefighter. As back aboard, there's one of them. Set weapons for stun. I've set mine to kill. Leia's out for blood. Then the young girl starts to flee once more, but unfortunately, not at the light speed of a paralysis ray. She'll be alright. Report to Lord Vader. While on Tatooine, city Anchorhead. I've told you kids to slow down. Hey, Cammy, did I hear a young noise blast through here? It was just a wormy on another rampage, fixer. Shape it up, you two. Biggs, when did you get back? So this is the deleted scene. If you remember the Biggs Tosche Station scene from the deleted stuff. Just now, I thought you'd be here, certainly, but didn't expect you to be out working. Hey, what happened? Didn't you get your commission? Why, of course I got it. Signed aboard the Randy Cliptic last week. First Mate Biggs Darklighter, at your service. I just came back to say goodbye to all you unfortunate landlocked simpletons. That scene was terrible. Sound effects sounded low budget. Wait, I almost forgot. There's a battle going on right here in our solar system. Come and look. Not again. Forget it, Biggs. He's always... No, I mean it. Come on. Up there. Can you see it? That's no battle, hotshot. They're just sitting there. Probably a freighter tanker refueling. But there was a lot of firing earlier. I kept telling you, Wormy, the rebellion's a long way from here. I doubt if the Empire would even fight to keep this system. Believe me, Luke, this planet is a big hunk of nothing. He kind of looks like a member of the Beatles, I feel like. With that mustache and hair. High school diploma and ring. Look, you get a ring, too. Oh, whoops, there you go. Free $1 million cash. Fool all your friends. You'll get $1 million worth of laughs with these exact reproductions of old U.S. gold banknotes, 1840. They're yours free when you send for our brand new fun catalog. Yeah, Ringo, exactly. Comic books for sale, 250,000 in stock. The complete Marvel and DC groups from 1935 to 1977. For real, the complete? All of them? Including, like, Marvel Comics #1 and all that? Damn. Big Muscles Fast. Build muscles fast. Details, 35 cents. Old comic books. Join the Gold Rush. Estelle Comics, Poems Wanted. You can be big. Powerful arms, massive chest, muscular legs, super shoulders, tapered torso, easy to follow exercises. Own a real Texas ranch. Own a mini ranch in Texas, 1 square inch. We'll send a legal deed and a map showing where your ranch is located. Makes a great wall poster. $2. Man, $2 for a square inch of land in Texas? That adds for a high school diploma so you can skip the classes. Should really Google what's at these addresses today. Yeah, I'd be interested. Real switchblade, ... comb. Cartoon for money, comic books, be taller. Height increase, details, 35 cents. Guaranteed tall up. Oh, live seahorses. 25 live seahorses for $2.98. That's a hell of a deal for seahorses nowadays. Seahorses are expensive. And then we have make money, customizing cars, vans, cycles, inside and out. I love looking at the old ads in these. It's so silly. Alright, here we go. Sorry. While out in space, Lord Vader, I should have known only you could be so bold. Well, the Imperial Senate will not sit still for this. When they hear you've attacked a diplomatic, don't play games with me, Your Highness. The ship passed directly through a restricted system. Several transmissions were beamed to the ship by spies who are now unfortunately dead. I want to know what happened to those data tapes. Let me see if we can... Trying to see if we can focus it a little bit more, but I guess it's alright. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to... You're a part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. Okay, yeah, it's gotten a little bit blurry again for some reason. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Hey, Chaotic, how's it going? Should have my package by the 8th. Sweet, awesome, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Below, in this place called Junland, or No Man's Land, where rugged desert mesas meet the foreboding Dune Sea, the life pod Darth Vader seeks lies half buried in the sand. What a forsaken place this is. We seem to be made to suffer. I've got to rest before I fall apart. My joints are almost frozen. Where do you think you're going? Poo-weet, poo-weet. Oh, you are you? Well, I'm not going that way. Go on if you want to, and don't let me catch you following me and begging for help, because you won't get it. Do you hear me, R2? R2? The Jawas. Here come the Jawas. There's like an ad every other page. Marvel superhero patches. This is kind of a cool ad, though. Look at this. At last, you can fly Spider-Man. Just what I've always wanted. Fly your favorite sky hero to the rescue. There's Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Captain America, each with its own launcher. You zoom them as high as 35 feet in the air. Their capes open and they fly like nothing you've ever seen before, swooping, turning, looping, diving, and they're Mark's toys, so you know they're fun. Look for the Sky Heroes at your toy store. And here we have Mighty Marvel Mazes, Marvel's Mastermind Wondrous Word Finds, Spidey's Clever Crosswords, and Marvel's Mysterious Secret Messages. And these are patches that you can put on your jacket or whatever. You want a Spider-Man plane? Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Okay, there we go. There, now it's focused. I don't know why sometimes it focuses and sometimes it doesn't. I wish this thing had like a manual focus I could just turn. I don't know why they don't have those on these things these days, but whatever. Anyway, things haven't been the same since you left Tatooine, Biggs. It's been so quiet. Luke, I shouldn't tell you this, but you're the only one I can trust. And if I don't come back, I want somebody to know. What are you talking about? I made some friends at the Academy, Luke. When our frigate goes to one of the central systems, we're going to jump ship and join the Alliance. Join the Rebellion? Are Are you kidding? How? Quiet down, will you? My friend has a friend on Bestine who might help us make contact. You're crazy. You could wander around forever trying to find them. I know it's a long shot, but I'm not going to wait for the Empire to draft me into service. This rebellion is spreading, and I want to be on the side I believe in. This was 1977, I think. Yeah, well, actually, this particular printing was 77. This one, oh yeah, it says the date right on here. This was 7/77 is when Star Wars #1 released. Is that, no, not September. Is that, what month is the 7th month? You're a negative 14 years old. Which month is the 7th month? Yeah, 77 was a great year. Judge Dredd also came out in 77. I'll have to read some of those at some point, too. Let's see, where are we? I thought you were going to the academy next turn. Get off this rock. Not likely. My uncle needs me here for just one more season. Can't leave him now. Judge Dredd is great. That is actually my favorite comic series. I love Judge Dredd. What good is all your uncle's work if he ends up merely a tenant soon, slaving away for the greater glory of the Empire? Well, I gotta go. I'm leaving in the morning. Then I guess I won't see you. Maybe someday I'll keep a lookout. Take care of yourself, Biggs. You'll always be the best friend I've got. Now, if it would just stay focused, that would be great. Okay. While in a soulless Imperial conference room, I like how it says soulless. It's just really hammering in. Sounds like a Disney executive board meeting. Soulless Imperial conference room. Somewhere in the galaxy. I tell you, Darth Vader has gone too far. The Sith Lord sent by the Emperor will be our undoing. The Rebel Alliance is more dangerous than you realize. Dangerous to your Starfleet Commander, Tag, not to this battle station. Wouldn't want him as my judge. You're a fool, Admiral Motti. The rebellion will continue to gain support in the Imperial Senate as long as... The Imperial Senate is no longer of any concern to us, gentlemen. Oh man, I wish I could roll my R's like Peter Cushing. It's Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader. I have just received word that the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away. The regional governors now have direct control over their territories. Impossible! How will the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy? Fear will keep the local systems in line. Fear of this battle station, which nears completion. And what of the rebellion, Governor Tarkin? He's pretty fair. He is pretty fair. He's just very strict. Every company conference room ever. Yeah. If the rebels have obtained a complete technical readout of this battle station, it is possible, however unlikely, that they might find a weakness and exploit it. The technical data you refer to will soon be back in our hands. Sith get mentioned. $10 midichlorians will be named too. I'm actually kind of surprised that they actually say Sith in here. I thought that was kind of a later creation. I thought they always called them Dark Jedi back in the day, but right there, 1977, they says Sith. So that's pretty cool. Any attack made against this station by the rebels would be a useless gesture, no matter what technical data they've obtained. This battle station is now the ultimate power in the universe. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed, Admiral Motti. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the cosmic force. Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion hasn't helped you conjure up those stolen data tapes or enabled you to find the hidden rebels The rebels' hidden fortress. Why, I have to laugh. I can't breathe. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Oh man, it's getting kind of blurred again. That's irritating. Give me a second here. Let's zoom it out a little bit here. Maybe it'll help. Okay. Why is Vader holding a glass of water? Can he even drink through his helmet? It's like... Okay, it's not on the previous page, but it's like steaming. You can see the steam coming out of the glass. It's like a cup of coffee or something. It's hard to determine how competent Lucas actually was and how much he had planned and plotted in advance. Through the slits, he just splashes it on its mask and it gets soaked in. Enough of this, Vader. Release him. This bickering is pointless. Lord Vader will find the location of the rebel fortress by the time the station is operational. Then we will crush the rebellion with one swift strike. Isn't there a scene in Spaceballs where he's drinking coffee through his helmet? There might be. I don't remember. Next panel, straw appears from Vader's mask. With how goofy the Star Wars comics get at certain points, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the first 6 issues just retell the movie pretty closely, but after that they just go off the rails. It's amazing. And back on Tatooine, aboard the lumbering sand crawler of the desert-dwelling Jawas. Will this never end? Wake up, R2, wake up! We've stopped. We're doomed. Do you think the Jawas will melt us down? You're a great comfort. Weet, weet! Suddenly, through an opening hatch, the blinding white light fills the chamber. They want us to go outside. I was right. We are doomed. Luke, tell your Uncle Owen that if he gets a translator, be sure it speaks Bocce. Oh, sorry, it's down up there. There you go. It looks like we don't have much of a choice, Aunt Beru, but I'll remind him. Yes, this R2 model will do fine. That other one over there looks ready for the junk heap. Save your sales pitch. You, robot. Do you know etiquette and protocol? Do I know protocol? Why, it's my primary function. I'm well versed in the customs, and I don't need a protocol droid. I need a droid that knows something about the binary language of moisture evaporators. Evaporators, sir? My first job was programming binary load lifters. Very similar. Do you speak Bocce? It's like a second language for me, sir. I'm as fluent as... Shut up. I'll take this one. Shutting up, sir. Luke, take them to the garage and get them cleaned up. But I was going to Tashi Station after you finished your chores. Uncle Owen, this R2 unit has a bad motivator. Look. Oh, I didn't read... Oh, that? Go back. I don't know. Houdini. There you go. Oh, crap. Wait. There we go. All right. Focus. Shut up. Yeah, he didn't even say he was going to Tashi Station to pick up the power converters. He got cut off. My dad used to speak dirty to me and Bocce. Hey, Sega fan, what's up? Like a second language, is that a common phrase in English? Yes, it is. It's a very common phrase in English. It's like a second language to me. Although I don't hear it too often nowadays. If I might say so, sir, this R2 unit is in top condition. A real bargain. And we'll take it as a replacement. I'll take care of the Jawas, Luke. Run along. Don't you forget this, R2. Why I stick my neck out for you is beyond my capacity to... Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Do you have all the original Star Wars ones? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Also, I could show you this neat little drawing I did. I did this, in 2015. It's not that great, but I did it as just like a front cover for my Star Wars box. Like a second language sounds a bit too humble. But yeah, I just a little Boba Fett drawing. Super cool, thanks. Appreciate it. Alright, next page I think is another ad. Oh no, it's not an ad. We have a little break here. Who's your favorite character? Who was? C-3PO? So, here, should I... You know what, I think I will read the rest of the comic, and we can come back to this section and read this, after we get the comic. I don't want to, like, pause it for 10 minutes or however long it's going to take to read that. Oh, the Boba Fett. Yeah, okay. A little break, massive wall of text. Yeah, it's, I'll do this after we finish this issue, then. So here we have Foom, Friends of Old Marvel. Hulk, hear me. This is the Winsome Wasp, urging you to order Foom, the fan magazine, with the Marvel Maximus in mind. It's the only place to get exclusive inside info and behind-the-scenes buzz on the Bashful Bullpen, as revealed by the Marvel folks themselves, photos, facts, and features on secret projects, as well as a look at how a Marvel comic is produced from the start to finish, and even a spectacular Stan Lee special issue. All coming soon. Subscribe to the superheroes. Also, make money, sell grit, and snap into a Slim Jim. What to sink your teeth into when you're hungry and you're not a werewolf. I love that. A little less than a meal, a little more than a snack. That's great. Alright, here we go. Pizza? Oh, was that pizza flavor? Oh gosh, yeah. Slim Jim's a chewy all-meat snack that comes in 5 very unboring flavors. Mild, spicy, salami, bacon, and pizza. What does a pizza Slim Jim taste like? That sounds awesome. Werewolf by Night reference? Probably. Werewolf by Night would have been about 6 years before this, his first appearance. So yeah, this would have been the era of Werewolf by Night for sure. Unboring, yeah. It just isn't fair. Biggs is right. I'll never get out of here. Is there anything I might do to help, sir? Yes, you can call me Luke. Lots of carbon scoring here. You've both seen a lot of action. Well, my little friend, you've got something jammed in here real good. You have to leave? I want to try a pizza one, too. Let's see what... Oof! Obi-Wan Kenobi, help me. You're my only hope. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the funny pages. Alright. Thank you for hanging out, Randed Carter. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Sleep well, and have a good week. Good to see you. What's this? A 3-dimensional hologram? And she's beautiful. Obi-Wan Kenobi, help me. You're my only hope. R2 says it's nothing. Merely a malfunction. Pay it no mind. But who is this girl? I think she was a passenger on our last voyage, sir. But I don't... Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is there any more to this hologram? R2 says he's the property of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's a private message for him. Quite frankly, sir, I don't know what he's talking about. Our last master was Captain Antilles. I don't know about any Obi-Wan, but there's an old Ben Kenobi who lives out beyond the Dune Sea, sort of a hermit. I wonder. I wonder if I remove this restraining bolt. Now the hologram's disappeared, girl and all. I'm sorry, sir, but he appears to have picked up a slight flutter. Perhaps later. Play back the entire message, R2. Make her come back. Boop, beep, boop, beep. Alright, I'll get some water. Awesome concept. See you next Sunday. Awesome, cool. Look forward to it. We're going to do the whole series. Soon afterward at dinner. Uncle Owen, I think that R2 unit might be stolen goods. What makes you think that, Luke? I stumbled on a recording while I was cleaning him. The droid claims to be the property of someone called Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought he might mean old Ben. The name is similar. Do you know what? It's a name from another time. That can only mean trouble. You stay away from that old wizard, do you hear me? He's dangerous. Tomorrow you'll have that R2 unit's memory flushed, and that'll be the end of it. I don't care where that droid came from. It belongs to us now. But what if this Obi-Wan comes looking for the droid? He won't. He died at the same time as your father. Forget about it. Did he know my father? I said forget it. Alright, but if these new droids work out, I'd like to transmit my application to the Academy this year. You mean next term, before the harvest? You've got more than enough droids to... Droids can't replace you, Luke. It's just for one more season. For the first time, we've got a fortune coming into our hands. Maybe after next season. But that means another year. The time will be past before you know it. That's what you said last year when Biggs and Tank left. Where are you going? It looks like I'm going nowhere. I have to finish cleaning those droids. Owen, he can't keep him here forever. Most of his friends are gone. I'll make it up to him next year, I promise. Luke's just not a farmer, Owen. He's got too much of his father in him. That's what I'm afraid of. Oh, hey, a Star Trek ad. Look at that. Star Trek Lives, presenting Voyage 1 of the official Star Trek poster magazine. We also have some more of these goofy ads. We buy and sell comics. Over 500,000 copies in stock, 1938 to present issues. We are well known as specialists in Marvel and DC comics. Dang. Back then you could get a deal on some of those early comics. Man. Back in 1970, a copy of Action Comics #1 was only like $300. It's wild. Now it's like $3 million. 3PO, R2, where are you? This control box will pop you out into the open. Yipe! What are you hiding for? And where's R2? It wasn't my fault, sir. Please don't deactivate me. I told him not to go, but he's faulty, malfunctioning. Kept babbling on about his mission. Oh no. Moments later, outside. No sign of him, even with these electro binoculars. Uncle Owen's gonna kill me for this. Begging your pardon, sir, but can't we go after him? Not at night. It's too dangerous with all the sand people around. But come morning, well... Luke, you about finished with those droids? Be there in a minute, Uncle Owen. Boy, am I in for it if he finds out. That little R2 droid is going to get me into a lot of trouble. He excels at that, sir. These asteroid droids, are getting too much for me. Even I can't understand their logic at times. Hours later, as dawn slowly creeps over the sparse but sparkling oasis, which is Owen Lars' homestead. Baru, have you seen Luke this morning? He got to work early. Took the new droids with him, I guess. Well, he'd better have those condensing units on the South Ridge by midday, or there'll be hell to pay. Meanwhile, some distance away, 4 Imperial stormtroopers mill about a familiar form, a half-buried life pod. Sand people? Oh no, Qui-Gon gonna appear in the next few panels and randomly kill him for no reason. Yeah, exactly. This is the one, but there are no data tapes here, sir. If only we knew who was in that pod when it... Hold it. This small piece of metal I found in the sand? Droids! Old Ben Kenobi lives out in this direction somewhere, 3PO, but I don't see how R2 could have... Wait, there's something dead ahead on the scanner. Looks like our droid hit it, 3PO. As the tiny land speeder glides across the desert floor, its occupants are unaware of a deadly laser rifle being aimed at them. And of another's hand which grasps the gun before it can be fired. Moments later, following a heated argument in their barbaric tongue, the 2 sand people, or Tusken Raiders as they're sometimes called, are scurrying over the rocky terrain toward their 2 enormous banthas tethered nearby. Mounting the elephantine creatures, They ride off down the rugged bluff in ominous silence. Marvel Bullpen Bulletins. Woo. Marvel Comics #1. Or Star Wars #1. Oh, wow. There's like an extra piece of, like, it wasn't cut properly. There's like an extra piece of paper attached to it there. Weird. Okay. Spider-Man and Madam Web. What is this? It's an advertisement. It says so at the top. Daily Bugle. City in panic. Webhead accused of Tangle Harbor in his web. What? Everyone thinks I'm to blame. I'm tired of running from the cops, but I must get through and save the harbor. I love Spider-Man, but he rejected me, Madam Web. So my revenge, I'll make everyone blame him for tangling the harbor. Spider-Man, my only love, come with me and let's run away. Madam Web, that love-crazed fiend. Oh, what if I give you a whole bunch of delicious Hostess Twinkie cakes instead? Would you clear the harbor in my good name? Oh, for that I'd clear up the ocean, the world, anything. Oh, golden sponge cake, creamed filling. First I lose Spider-Man, then Hostess Twinkie cakes. What a tangled web. She is such a loyal admirer of mine. Yay, Spider-Man! Yay, Twinkies cakes! You get a big delight in every bite of Hostess Twinkies cakes. Ah, oh, fantastic. Fantastic. She wants a... Oh, gosh. Oh, Zeph. Alright. While on the floor of a massive canyon, and just where did you think you were going? Tweet, tweet. 3PO? He's still talking about that Obi-Wan Kenobi. Gibberish, sure. Even though you're his rightful master now. R2, you're fortunate he doesn't blast you into a million pieces right here. Madam Web got cakes. Yeah. Sorry. Well, come on. Come on. It's getting late. I only hope we can get back before... Now what? Oh my, sir. R2 says there are several creatures approaching rapidly from the southeast. Sand people, or worse. I've never been out this far before. The wild things out here are said to be weird and savage. Hurry, from this ridge we can scan the whole canyon. I just hope that R2 unit is on the blink. As you know, sir, such a thing is not beyond this realm of possibility. Come on, R2. Toot toot. No such luck. There are 2 banthas down there, and... Yep, they're sand people, all right. I see one of them. There must be 2 of them. Where's the other? Sir, look out! Yow! Suddenly, a gruesome Tusken Raider looms above the startled lad, and only his laser rifle, now smashed to bits, prevents Luke Skywalker's skull from being the same. This Gatterfee... Okay. I thought it was a gaffy stick, or a Gatter... never mind. I don't know. The Gatterfee of the Sand People is a formidable weapon. I remember that one episode where Spider-Man beat Venom by offering him a crate of Twinkies. It was right after he beat Electro by offering him a pizza-flavored Slim Jim. Exactly. In seconds, Luke is forced backwards till he staggers at the edge of a deep crevice. 3PO has already toppled into it. And now the sinister Raider towers above the terrified boy, laughing his horrible, inhuman laugh. His dreaded axe blade poised to kill. Next issue, on to Alderaan. Boom. Super bodybuilding course. Free booklet. You'll put inches of powerful muscles on your body. And we have an ad for fishing outfits. Fishing kits. Oh, there we go. Free tackle box. And on the back, we have Spalding ad. Presents Street Ball with Rick Barry and Dr. J. Hey, look! It's Rick Barry and Dr. J! Is that Han Solo? Glad to see you're playing with a Spalding rubber ball like I grew up with. Yeah, those vinyl balls are just too slick. Oh, what difference can the ball make? My man, for real ball handling, you need that Spalding touch. What moves? He plays up in the lights. Now it's my turn, Julius. A 30-footer. What a magic touch. You don't need magic, just practice with a Spalding autographed ball. It's got a rubber cover so you can really get a grip on it. I believe it! I believe it! If you want the ball with the sure-handed feel, look for the signatures at your sporting good dealer. Other autographed balls are signed by Wilt Chamberlain, Pistol Pete, and Ernie D. It's a great deal for 3 fishing outfits. $12.95. You get everything shown in this ad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, so let's go back to that page here, and we can try to read through some of this. Spalding's a great basketball. Wilson's good too. Yeah, we finished issue number 1. The ultimate space fantasy. Autographs add grip to the ball. Exactly. Yes, they do. The more autographs you have, the grippier the ball will be. Okay, sorry it keeps, like, unfocusing and... Oh, this is irritating. I don't know why it's doing that. Come on, make up your mind. A 6-issue prospectus on a startling piece of cinema. 6 years ago, George Lucas, the creator of American Graffiti, began his first draft of the script of a film that is certain to become a milestone in the space fantasy genre. Thus, it is perhaps appropriate that Marvel Comics is going to take 6 monthly issues of this Star Wars comic magazine to adapt the movie into illustrated form. Anything less than approximately 100 pages would be too little to do it justice. Still, just to familiarize you with the territory, including a few terms new to those unfamiliar with interstellar warfare, we thought it'd be best to give you this brief overview of the story, the characters, and the people behind it. Read it carefully, because there might be a quiz at the end of the 6th issue. Through thousands of light years come the amazing exploits of hero Luke Skywalker and his friends, flesh and blood space pilots and mechanical robots, as they battle numerous villains and creatures in a massive galactic civil war. This story has no relationship to Earth, time, and space. It occurs in other solar systems, in another galaxy, and could be happening in the future, the past, or even the present. Young Luke Skywalker is accompanied by his robot companions R2-D2 and C-3PO, more familiarly known as R2 and 3PO. The tough star pilot Han Solo, the 7-foot fur-covered Wookiee named Chewbacca, and the venerable old warrior Ben Kenobi. 3 different worlds become settings for the series of fabulous adventures and thrills. They travel from the large arid planet Tatooine to the huge man-made planet destroyer Death Star, and finally arrive on the dense jungle-covered 4th moon of Yavin. Director-writer George Lucas has created a majestic visual experience of extraordinary worlds. This Panavision Technicolor motion picture, to be released in late May of this year, is produced by Gary Kurtz for the 20th Century Fox release, and was made on location in Tunisia and at EMI Elstree and Shepperton Studios London over a 17-week schedule. Lucas and Kurtz, the successful duo of the fantastically popular American Graffiti, have acquired an outstanding production team, including production designer John Barry of A Clockwork Orange fame, and director of photography Gil Taylor of Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy and 20th Century Fox's 1976 hit The Omen, a team with credentials. John Steers, production special effects supervisor in London, an Academy Award winner for the James Bond film Thunderball, designed the robots and land vehicles and planned the cataclysmic explosions. At a hidden warehouse in the United States, special effects miniaturist John Dykstra took full advantage of new advances in computer-controlled stop-motion animation. Matte artist Peter Ellenshaw Jr. carried on a great family tradition in a relatively unknown motion picture art form. John Barry was the production designer, while veteran John Williams scored the music. Other important production members include makeup expert Stuart Freeborn, who designed and made the ape costumes for 2001, and editors Marcia Lucas, Richard Chew, and Paul Hirsch. And the stars of Star Wars? Sir Alec Guinness as Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford, a featured player in Graffiti, as Han Solo, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia Organa, and Peter Cushing of Frankenstein fame and infamy as Governor Moff Tarkin. Others in the cast include Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, and Dave Prowse, though it's doubtful even their own families would recognize them in their alien get-ups. Now the question: why did filmmaker George Lucas follow up a movie like American Graffiti with such a totally different film? Here's the reason in his own words. I think that anyone who goes to the movies loves to have an emotional experience. It's basic, whether you're 7, 17, or 70. The more intense the experience, the more successful the film. I've always loved adventure films. After I finished American Graffiti, I came to realize that since the demise of the Western, there hasn't been much in the mythological fantasy genre available to the film audience. So instead of making Isn't It Terrible What Happened to Mankind movies, which is how I began, I decided that I'd try to fill that gap. I'd make a film so rooted in imagination that the grimness of everyday life would not follow the audience in the theater. Oh my god, that is like a perfect description of like everything that Disney is doing wrong with their new films. I decided that I'd try to fill that gap. I'd make a film so rooted in imagination that the grimness of everyday life would not follow the audience into the theater. I also like how he knows it's fantasy and not sci-fi. Yes, exactly. Okay, have a good night, Zeph. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Man, that is like a philosophy that more filmmakers should follow, I feel like. In other words, for 2 hours, they could forget. I'm trying to reconstruct a genre that's been lost and bring it to a new dimension so that the elements of space, fantasy, adventure, suspense, and fun all work and feed off each other. So in a way, Star Wars is a movie for the kid in all of us. With this multi-million-dollar Fox release slated to open in major theaters across the country in just a few short weeks, right? This book came out a few weeks before the movie actually came out. So this is the very first, well, maybe not this one because this one's a reprint, but very first Star Wars anything released, I believe. Any sort of Star Wars media. Pretty cool. Okay. Released in just a few short weeks, with a Star Wars novelization from Ballantine Books already rushing toward a second printing, and now with the maybe the Ballantine Books one, the novelization, maybe that was the first Star Wars media released. Maybe this is the second one. I don't know. It's pretty early though. And now, with the beginning of Marvel Comics' official adaptation by Roy Thomas, late of Unknown Worlds of Science Fiction, and a Skrull Kree war or two himself, and Howard Chaykin, whose Monarch Starstalker and Solomon Kane from Marvel have shown he knows how to buckle a mean swash himself, in space or elsewhere. Well, it looks as if the time has come for Star Wars after all, and it's about time. Star Warriors. Let's see, Marvel Comics Group, 575 Madison Avenue, New York City, 10022. The story behind Star Wars, the movie, and the comic mag by Roy Thomas. So this little section was written by Roy Thomas. So got his words. Star Wars is back. It started slowly, this Star Wars project, both for George Lucas and even for Marvel Comics. It's a couple years now since I met George Lucas, already celebrated as the filmmaker behind the blockbuster American Graffiti. Trying to see if I can make it focus a little bit better, but okay, I guess it's alright. I was an ardent admirer of that film, and had also been intrigued by his earlier science fiction feature, THX 1138. George, in turn, had expressed a desire to see the Carl Barks Uncle Scrooge McDuck painting, which hangs proudly in my living room, and was enthusiastic about another pride and joy of mine, our late lamented $1 magazine, Unknown Worlds of Science Fiction. We met, shared a dinner, and a few anecdotes, and that was it. Or so it seemed. Hey, Panicky Otto. How's it going? You're here. You're here. Yay. Where was it? Oh, for a few months later, a friend of George's looked me up. His name was Charlie Lippincott, and he was, for lack of a better term, he said, media projects director of George Lucas's new film Star Wars, about which I knew nothing but the name. Fairly understandable, since at that stage filming hadn't even been started. Charlie informed me, after a spaghetti dinner and some more swapped anecdotes, that he and George would like Marvel Comics in general, and me in particular, to handle the comic book adaptation of Star Wars. I was, of course, both flattered and flabbergasted, and when Charlie brought out stats of a dozen or so beautiful paintings of projected scenes from the movie, sketches they're called in the trade, but they were painstakingly detailed and breathtakingly beautiful, I was definitely hooked. This looks great, thanks. Thanks, I'm glad you think so. And if you have any suggestions or whatever, just throw them out there, because we're kind of making this work as we go, I guess. Within a couple of days, smilin' Stan Lee had seen my enthusiasm and figured, I guess that, what the heck, it'll give the kids something to do. Star Wars was tentatively added to the hectic Marvel schedule after some slight debate about whether it should be a color or black and white mag, about whether it should be adapted in 1 issue or 20, etc. I wanted to adapt George's script in about a half dozen issues in full color, and I guess I was fairly persuasive that particular day. By that time, reading over the script and having perused the illustrations, which would soon become filmic reality, I had already chosen the artist I would give first crack at Star Wars, Marvel version. Howard Chaykin's drawn space fantasy, or space opera, if you will, for just about every market over the past couple of years. For our competition, for underground type mags, and even for us, as witness last year's Marvel premiere, issue 1, Monarch Starstalker. Howie took one look at the script and the production sketches, and his only question was, when do we start? He's got top-notch help, too, to help the two of us produce the Star Wars comic on a monthly basis. This issue's cover, for instance, based on a poster by the talented Mr. C, was inked by Tom Palmer, a favorite of Marveldom assembled. And starting with issue number 2, the inking chores, if you can call such an enjoyable assignment a chore, will be done by the Steve Leialoha in between encounters with Howard the Duck. We think Chaykin and Leialoha are going to be a duo to remember, and Star Wars, both as film and as comic book, is going to be just what it says out there on the first page, the greatest space fantasy of all. Alright. I love Howard Chaykin's artwork, and that cover of the first issue is just so iconic. It's awesome. Alright, so let's find the other page that we missed over here. Here we go. Here's the Marvel Bullpen Bulletins. Let me take a little drink real quick. Archie Goodwin, editor. Jim Shooter, associate editor. Roger Slifer, Roger Stern, Ed Hannigan, assistant editors. Roy Thomas, Len Wein, Marv Wolfman, Steve Gerber, consulting editors. John Romita, Maurice Severin, art directors. John Verporten, Irene Vertinoff, production managers. Irv Forbush. Okay, I don't know. Stan Lee's Soapbox. Oh, this was actually written by Stan Lee here. Not sure why, but I didn't realize there was a Star Wars comic book. Yeah, yeah, 1977. This came out a few weeks before the film released. Hey gang, remember years ago when they started calling us Marvel the House of Ideas? Remember how it was Marvel who brought you the first book-length continued stories and the first real movie-type screen credits that you'd get to know our writers, artists, letters, colors, and editors? Remember how we started the much-copied bullpen bulletin page, the old soapbox column, and the nutty little footnotes throughout our mags? Remember how we created a whole new wave of superheroes for you? From the great Fantastic Four to Hulk and Spider-Man, Thor, and all others, as well as Conan, America's first sword and sorcery smash hit. Howard the Duck, our answer to unbridled sanity, the best-selling Origins books, Origins of Marvel Comics, Son of Origins, Bring on the Bad Guys, and soon to be published, Superwomen, and all the other outrageously offbeat concoctions which warm the cockles of your grateful hearts. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget. And now, more about one of our niftiest and nuttiest newies coming your way, and this will really blow your mind. We told you a little bit about it a couple issues back, but I'm busting to hit you with a few more teasers. I'm talking Natch about our great new Kiss magazine. The one which features a book-length comic strip starring the indescribable rock group Kiss, plus a whole caboodle of superheroes, villains, calculated to boggle your beanie. And get this, it's a comic book, but it's a deluxe full-sized magazine as well. It'll set you back $1.50, and it's the greatest bargain you'll get all year. Also, and this is the real glitzy part, it will launch the most unusual, most unbelievable stunt ever pulled off in any publication, and you won't have to take our word for it. It'll be in newspapers and on TV from coast to coast. So stay tuned, believer. The House of Ideas is zooming along, and in the immortal words of Irving Forbush, nous verrons ce que nous verrons. Excelsior. Oh man, there's my favorite Marvel superhero, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, this is a Twinkie ad. It's great. We read that one a little bit earlier. I'm going to get to some Spider-Man in a bit here. I'm trying to think how I should pace this. If I should just do... Because we're going to do... we just read issue 1 of Star Wars. And we're going to do issue 1 of... the first Spider-Man, and we are going to do the first Ghost Rider. And it seems to be about an hour or so per comic. Do you guys think we should do 2 Star Wars comics today? Plus like one of the other ones? Or do you think we should do 1 Star Wars comic, 2 Spider-Man, and 1 Ghost Rider? Do you guys have any opinion on how much we should do? Because I'll probably do this for about 4 hours or so. Down for whatever you want? Okay. Alright. Okay, I'll finish reading the rest of this here. You guys can chime in if you want. Item. To emphasize what Stan was saying in the soapbox about the House of Ideas zooming along, let's kick off this column with a few words about another new title we're springing on you this month. Star Wars. If that sounds familiar, it might be because we've plugged it a bit in the past. But a much better bet is that you've been hearing about the multi-million-dollar super science fiction film from 20th Century Fox, which our comic is based. You steer the ship, oh Captain, my Captain. Our comic is based. Star Wars is an epic of the far-flung future where intergalactic war and intrigue run rampant. It was written and directed by George Lucas, the man who gave us American Graffiti and THX 1138, and features Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing with Mark Hamill as the interstellar saga's hero, Luke Skywalker. With that kind of talent, you know this is going to be a big one. To do it justice in graphic story format, Mr. Lucas and Company handpicked Marvel for the awesome adaptation task, singling out rascally Roy Thomas as writer-editor and wholesome Howard Chaykin as artist. After the premiere issue, surfer Steve Lealoha will be joining the team as inker. To guarantee that the power and scope of the original film are preserved, the adaptation is going to be done in 6 parts, 1 issue per month. Don't miss any of them. We think it's going to be one of the most enthralling half years you ever spent. Alright. Alright, I don't know. Maybe we should move on to the next one. These are just kind of previews for a bunch of Marvel comics that are releasing this month, unless you guys think that's worth reading. Long before they became the accomplished comic book professionals they are now, lively Len Wein and marvelous Marv Wolfman were accomplished comic book fans. As such, they often collaborated on writing projects. Now with Nova number 12 and Amazing Spider-Man 171, they're back at it again. Sort of. You see, Marv plotted his Nova story as the first half of a crossover with Spidey. It's a murder mystery complete with 6 or so suspects and a masked supervillain who might be any of them. Just to keep things interesting for his old friend and fellow writer-editor, Marv refused to reveal the mystery's solution and instead left Len to figure it out as he wrote his Spider-Man section of the story. Did the lively one come through? Well, I'll find out next month when the 2 books go on sale. Pick up both of them and pit your deductive abilities against the devious plotting devices of Wolfman and Wein. And, as if you didn't know, no fair peeking at that last page. Looking forward to seeing the comics? Alright. I feel the same. Alright, let's, where is the bag for this? Hold on a second. Oh, there's the bag. Alright, let me put this back in my bag. Hello! Predator Gaming, what's up? How you doing? Okay, so that was Star Wars number 1. And up next, let's do... What do you guys think about Star Wars number 2? You want to do Star Wars number 2? And then we'll move on to Spider-Man? Because I kind of want to make it through the movie stuff pretty soon. Don't really want to spend a month just doing the movies. Or the first movie, rather. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so this is, again, a reprint. This is actually the only one I don't have the first edition of, but the reprint was, it's basically like the second printing. It's, it was still printed in 1977, but, it's exactly the same, but it, reprint, whatever. Oh wait, here we go, let's, there, then you can see the entire cover. It's a pretty cool cover. Luke Skywalker strikes back. Swing that lightsaber, Ben, or we're finished. Man, everybody is going after them at the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's like a full-on brawl here. Luke looks way more manly in the comics. Yeah, he's like really muscular. And Obi-Wan's just going crazy. He's like, ah! He's going full Qui-Gon. If Zeph was here, he would appreciate that joke. Alright, here we go. 6 Against the Galaxy. Star Wars, the greatest space fantasy of all. Roy Thomas, scripter, editor. Howard Chaykin, illustrator. Steve Leialoha, embellisher and colorist. Tom Orzechowski as letterer. Also love the lightsabers are red, not blue. Yeah, right. That's funny. So this was made before the film was out. And so when they wrote this, they had the script to go on, and they had like set photos, and they had some of the concept artwork and stuff to deal with, but the film itself was not released yet. So this actually includes some of the deleted scenes that were taken out of the original film. 6 Against the Galaxy. Luke Skywalker, youthful farmer on the yellow planet Tatooine, has been overcome by the sinister Sand People. At the last moment, not even bothering to kill him, the desert-dwelling raiders turn their attention to Luke's landspeeder, when suddenly... Whoa! Then, as the great howling moan echoes eerily through the canyon, the Sand People abruptly halt their ransacking. So this is August 1977 issue right here. To flee in obvious terror, as if before some horrible monster, But to the little android R2-D2, the approaching figure is hardly monstrous. Bleep! I'm loving the subtle differences. Goes to show how differently two people can make something even when they have the same material to work off of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really awesome. But only a man, his ancient leathery face cracked and weathered by exotic climates. Don't worry, little droid. He'll be all right. Ah, man. I wish I could do an Alec Guinness voice. What happened? Ben Kenobi, am I glad to see you? What brings you out this far, Luke? That droid over there. He claims to be the property of someone called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long while. Most curious. I think my uncle knew him. He says he's dead. Oh, he's not dead. Not yet. He's me. But I haven't gone by the name Obi-Wan since before you were born. And this droid does belong to you, as it claims? Can't remember ever owning a droid. Most interesting, but we'd best get inside before the Sand People return, and in greater numbers. Oh, all right, but 3PO, where's my uncle's other droid? Weet, bleep, bleep. Aided by the electronic whistles and beeps of little R2, young Luke swiftly finds a very dented and tangled C-3PO lying half buried in the sand, one arm broken off. Where am I? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I must have taken a bad step. Quickly, son. They're on the move. Soon in Ben Kenobi's small but homey hovel. Now, little friend, let's see if we can't find what you are and where you came from. I saw part of a holographic message that General Obi-Wan Kenobi, I present myself in the name of my father, Bail Antilles, Viceroy of Alderaan. I seem to have found it. So they called him Bail Antilles instead of Bail Organa. They probably made an assumption because C-3PO said his last master was Captain Antilles, but that would be Wedge Antilles. But they didn't know Wedge yet, so I assume they just thought Bail's name was Antilles, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure. Interesting little thing there. I seem to have found it. Years ago, Commander, you served the Old Republic in the Clone Wars. Now my father begs you to aid us again in our most desperate hour. My mission to you has failed, and I shall be captured. Information vital to the survival of the Rebel Alliance has been placed in this droid. Please see this R2 unit delivered safely to Alderaan. You are our last hope. You love that stuff? Yeah, it's really cool. Whoever she is, she's terrific. She called you Commander? You fought in the Clone Wars? Oh yes, I was once a Jedi Knight, just like your father. Jedi Knight? My father was just a navigator on a spice freighter. So your uncle told you. Your Uncle Owen didn't agree with your father's ideals. Thought he should have stayed here on Tatooine and not gotten involved. He was always afraid your father's adventures might influence you. I wish I'd known my father. That reminds me, I have something here for you. Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough. What is it? Touch the brightly colored button up there by the pommel and you'll see. He doesn't even tell him what it is. Here, just push the button. Also, I love how in the movie, the first thing Luke does is he looks right into it. Hey, let Joe Weider build you a better body for just $7.98. And also, buy some chickens. Mail order some chickens here. Fantastic. All right. At the press of a button, a meter-long beam of brilliant, intense light appears. Your father's lightsaber, the formal weapon of a Jedi Knight. The Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic, and how did my father die, Ben? He was betrayed and murdered by a young Jedi named Darth Vader. A boy I was training, one of my brightest disciples, my greatest failure. Darth Vader used the power of the Force for evil to help the Empire hunt down and destroy the last of the Jedi Knights. Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force, and it consumed him. The Force? The Force is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds, binds the galaxy together. Okay. Knowledge of the Force is what gave a Jedi Knight his power. You must learn the ways of the Force, Luke. If you were to come with me to Alderaan. Huh? Alderaan? I'm not going to Alderaan. I've got to get back home. I need your help, Luke. I'm afraid I'm getting too old for this sort of thing. Sorry, but I can't get involved. I mean, I hate the Empire and all, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's all such a long way from here. That's your uncle talking. Remember, the Force is with all men, binding them together. The suffering of one is the suffering of all. I can take you as far as Anchorhead. You can get transport from there to wherever you're going. You must do what you feel, Luke. Oh, hey, it's a Nicholas Petrus raid. How's it going? Hey, it's a new music. And Nick Peck raids you, act like you interrupted him and be real. Oh. I gave it away. No, you're fine, Nicholas. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for raiding. I appreciate it. Hey, new music. What's up? Were you playing some more StarCraft? Welcome in. We're in the middle of issue number 2 of Star Wars. This is 1977 Star Wars. This was released before the movie came out. That's pretty cool. StarCraft. Awesome. Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is so every Sunday we're gonna be reading some of this, some of where the hell is it? There we go. Some of this and some of this. And at 2 p.m. each Sunday, R&B Pikachu is going through the early days of Marvel Comics, Timely Comics. You save scum the last Terran mission? I don't blame you. It's a tough one. Yo, what's up? New music. How you doing? All right. Well, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the comic. I'm doing my best, the best job I can with the voices. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with some of the greatest voices of all time here. We got Alec Guinness, we got Peter Cushing, we got James Earl Jones. I mean, I can't do those. I can't compete with those. But I'm doing my best. Hope the comic book club has been going epically so far. You gotta eat. You'll try to pop back in later. Cool. Alright, we'll be going for about like 2.5, 3 hours more, so there's definitely time. Doing well. Comics, here we come. Alright. Okay, let me... I'll go back to this. Continue. Alright. Thank you very much for the raid, Nicholas. Right now, I don't feel too good. Oh, look at Luke. Oh, alright, Meanwhile, aboard the Empire battle station, known as Death Star. Darth Vader! Now, Your Highness, we will discuss the location of the hidden rebel base. As the cell door slides electronically shut, the fearful screams of Princess Leia are scarcely heard in the corridor outside. Also, I like how they had no idea what the torture droid was going to look like, so they just drew this. Just something they made up, because they're like, alright, here we go. Yeah, we don't know what it's going to look like. While on Tatooine, look, Ben, there's what's left of the Jawa sandcrawler that stopped by Uncle Owen's place yesterday. All the Jawas dead. Looks like the sand people did it all right. There's bantha tracks and part of those gaffy sticks. Oh, so he does call them gaffy sticks in here, but the previous one, I guess, Gattaraffy was the full name for Gaffy Stick. I feel like I should know that, but whatever. But we never heard of them hitting something this big. They didn't, Luke, but we were meant to think so. Look at these blast points. Only Imperial stormtroopers are this precise. These are the same Jawas who sold us R2 and 3PO. The troopers must have been looking for R2 because of the princess's message. If they tracked the robots to the Jawas, they may have learned who they sold them to, and that will lead them back home. Oh no. You guys ready to see a burnt Baru? Oh, look at that. Suspense. We got suspense. Okay, I can swear at some point Darth Vader was Dark Vader. Am I high? I have no idea. I have no idea. Dark Vader. I feel like that's just what I called him when I was a little kid and I didn't know what a Darth was. Alright. Wait, Luke! It's too dangerous! But the next moment, Ben Kenobi is left alone with 2 silent droids. And before long, Luke is running wildly toward the smoking holes that were once his home. Aunt Beru! Uncle Ben! Then he suddenly sees 2 smoldering piles which had once been human beings. Yeah, the comics have the commercials built into it. Yeah, there's quite a few ads in them. No! No! Okay, they don't actually show their smoldering corpses like in the film. Great. Meanwhile, the Grand Moff Tarkin, regional governor of this portion of space, has joined Darth Vader and others before a screen which illuminates the many-starred face of the galaxy. All systems are operational at last. What course shall we set, Lord Vader? Our Senator Princess' resistance to the Mind Probe is considerable, Admiral Motti. Thus, it will still be some time before we can extract any useful information from her. Lame cowards. I know, it's disappointing. Perhaps Leia would respond to an alternative form of persuasion. What do you mean, Governor? I think it's time we demonstrated the full power of this battle station. Set your course for Alderaan. I cannot do a Peter Cushing voice. He just has such a very distinct voice that I apologize. And he rolls his R's so beautifully. I wish I could do that. The bonfire of dead Jawas is still burning brightly when Luke returns to Ben and the robots. I share your sorrow, Luke. Still, the Force is with you. If you had been there, you would be dead now, and the droids in the hand of the Empire. Ben, I want to go with you to Alderaan. There's nothing for me here now. I want to learn the ways of the Force to become a Jedi, like my father. I'm doing great, thanks. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Later, the speeder bumps to a halt in Mos Eisley Spaceport. Well, here it is, lad. You won't find a more wretched hive of villainy. He doesn't say scum and villainy, he just says villainy, alright. Uh-oh, here comes some Imperial troopers. You, how long have you had these droids? Do you come from the south? Let us see your identification. Yes, alright, Abruptly, Ben Kenobi interrupts in a strangely controlled voice. You don't need to see his identification. We don't need to see his identification. These aren't the droids you're looking for. These aren't the droids we're looking for. He can go about his business. He can go on about his business. I can't understand how we got by those troopers. I thought we were dead. The Force is a strong influence on the mind, a powerful ally. Though you will discover it can also be a danger. Jedi mind trick. Yep, there's the first Jedi mind trick right there. Do you really think we can find a pilot who will take us to Alderaan in this cantina? Most of the freighter pilots frequent here. Most of the good freighter pilots frequent here, but watch your step. This place can be a little rough. Oh, at last you can fly Spider-Man! The same ad that was in the previous one. What is this one? This one's different, though. For all you action fans, we proudly present shooters and statues, and a price guide thrown in for luck. Here's the 3 nifty little items that put the flying The Action Back in Action toys. The Hulk Flying Fist, Captain America's Shield Shooter, and Spidey's Web Shooter. Strap one on your wrist, press the release, and watch the projectile fly. And they're completely harmless, of course. Only $2.39 plus 39 cents postage and handling each. Hulk says buy Shooter today or Hulk will stomp on your face. And while you're in a shooting mood, take aim at these 6 great statues. Hulk, Spidey, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Daredevil. They're each 6 inches tall and are made of 100% plastic, in full color. Only $4.35 plus 59-cent postage and handling for the entire set. Oh my gosh, wow. New superhero statues. Be a smart consumer. The 1977 comic book price guide. Can you guess our mystery cover? Make sure you get the most for your comic dollar, when you buy back issues by getting the brand new 1977 comic book price guide. Only $7.95 plus 50 cents postage and handling. And it's worth every penny of it. Sweet. Oh hey, this is actually, the centerfold is detached from the staple. Okay, whatever. So cool. Mom, you gotta buy me this or else Hulk is gonna stomp my face in. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Alright, there we go. Within moments, young Luke finds out what he meant. Negola, Dewag, Wuldaga, Huck. He doesn't like you. I'm sorry. I don't like you either. Katura Vashat Sadrak. I'm afraid I still don't. Don't insult us. We have the death sentence on 12 systems. Mandish Makora. Gentlemen, this little one isn't worth the effort. Come, let me buy you a Negola Dewagi Wuldaga. Ugh. Then, as the bad-tempered alien draws a pistol, and while the bartender is still yelling, "No blasters!" Ben's own lightsaber comes suddenly to life. Can we focus a little bit? Come on, maybe. Focus. There, okay. There we go. Oh, it's thinking about it. Okay. And a wide-eyed Luke Skywalker... Skywalker? And a wide-eyed Luke Skywalker is abruptly reminded that old Ben Kenobi was once Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Jedi Knight. Yeah, Howard Chaykin's art is so good. I love it. I love it. It's got a great style to it. Only when the two aggressors lie in sections on the floor does the old man's body appear to relax, or the suggestion of a sigh escape him. In a mixed state of shock and admiration, Luke Skywalker stands speechless. Then, with a shuffling and a many-tongued muttering, the cantina returns to its former state, save that Ben Kenobi is given a respectful amount of space at the bar. The whole affair has lasted only a few seconds. Then, as if nothing has happened, Ben speaks. Luke, this is Chewbacca. He's a Wookiee. Luke has heard about Wookiees, but he never expected to see one, let alone meet one. Gronk! I love how Chewbacca's first word is Gronk. Despite a comical quasi-monkey face, this 7-foot anthropoid is anything but gentle-looking, nor does its deep-throated, unintelligible response ease Luke's mind much. Neither do Ben Kenobi's next words. He's first mate on a ship that might suit our needs. That's wonderful. While outside in the street, what could be taking them so long? Look, here comes a patron out of the cantina. Now he's approaching those 2 rebel Imperial troopers. I don't like the looks of this, R2. Oh yes, Chewbacca's signature catchphrase, Gronk. Yep. Inside, the giant Wookiee escorts Ben and Luke to a secluded corner. You're pretty handy with that saber, old man. I'm Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon. Chewie tells me you're looking for passage to the Alderaan system. If it's a fast ship. Fast? You mean you never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. I've outrun Imperial starships, not the local bulk cruisers, mind you. These are the big Corellian ships I'm talking about. I think she's fast enough for you, old man. What's the cargo? Just myself, the boy, 2 droids, with no questions. No questions. Local trouble? Let's just say we'd like to avoid any Imperial entanglements. These days, that can be a real trick. 10,000 in advance. 10,000? We could almost buy our own ship for that. But could you fly it, kid? You bet I could. I'm not such a bad pilot myself. I don't... Easy, Luke. We haven't that much with us, but we could pay you 2,000 now, plus another 15 when we reach Alderaan. That's 17,000. Alright. Docking Bay 94. We can take off as soon as you're ready. Looks like someone's taking a look at your handicraft, old man. Moving to the bar, the Imperial troopers ask the nervous bartender a few brief questions. The bartender hesitates, but a man in his position can't afford trouble with the Empire. He points out a booth near the back of the room. But no one is sitting there but a space pilot, obviously one who does not possess a lightsaber, and a huge, stoic Wookiee. The bartender shrugs his shoulders. I'm afraid you'll have to sell your speeder, Luke. It's alright. I don't think I'll ever come back to this planet anyway. What do you do for laughs in Latveria? Dynamic dictator Victor Von Doom reads the magazine that dares to be dumb. Crazy! And if he reads it, so does everyone else. They read it for the witty articles, the urbane artwork, and the droll satire, but mostly they read it because it's the only magazine dumb enough to send copies to a weird place like Latveria. Crazy, the humor book that knows no boundaries. Also, he's coming your way! Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Godzilla issue number 1. The mightiest of the movie monsters, at last in a comic book of his own, as only Marvel could do it. On sale May 3rd. Laughing Dr. Doom is scary. A little bit, yeah. Alright, here we go. Meanwhile, the Imperial troopers have wandered on, but just as Han Solo starts to slide from his booth, going somewhere, Solo? Matter of fact, I was just going to see your boss. Tell Jabba I have his money. That's what you said yesterday. Now it's too late. Mark your calendars, May 3rd, yep. But I've really got the money this time. Then hand it over. I haven't got it on me. You tell Jabba. Jabba would rather have your ship, I think. Over my dead body. That's the idea, Solo. Now will you come outside with me, or must I finish it? BAM! Look at that. Han shot first. Han shot only. Han's the only one who shot. Greedo never got his shot off. There is no shooting first. There's just, he shot him. There you go, right there. Look at him, just blast Greedo away right there. Just sorry for the mess. Tosses him a coin. Fantastic. Alright, superheroes assemble! There's no reason to miss your favorite Marvel mags. You say your news dealer always sells his last copies of your favorite Marvel mags just before you arrive. You say you find it hard to visit your local comic store regularly enough. You say you'd like your copies a wee bit before the rest of the world. Is that what's troubling you, O Keeper of the Flame? Then worry no more. There's no reason to miss your favorite Marvel mags, so subscribe, and remember, they're all mailed flat. True believers only. Now all titles are mailed flat. And then here's the Slim Jim ad. What to sink your teeth into when you're hungry and you're not a werewolf. Alright. There we go. As in a sleazy used speeder lot. A sleazy used speeder lot. That's an interesting term that I've never heard before outside of this. He says that price is the best he can do. Since the XP38 came out, this kind just isn't in demand. Why can't Wolverines eat Slim Jims? Well, Wolverines eat other things. And this is something you can sink your teeth into when you're hungry and you're not a werewolf. Then, you know, werewolves would just eat a person or a cow or something, but you're not a werewolf, so you aren't going to do that. You want to sink your teeth into some meat, but, you know, you want to eat something with some pizza flavor. Sink your teeth into Cheez Whiz cracker. Hey, Fariel. I got some Cheez Whiz today. I finally have some, so the next game stream, I'll have some Cheez Whiz again. Absorb water. All right, thanks. Werewolves, not Wolverines. It will be sufficient. I have enough to cover the rest. Come, lad. Ben and Luke do not see the darkly clad creature which moves out of the shadows as they pass, and watches them intently as they disappear down still another alleyway. At that moment, at Docking Bay 94, come on out, Solo. I've been waiting for you, Jabba. So this is another deleted scene that was removed from the film. Han, my boy, there are times when you disappoint me. Why haven't you paid me yet? So that's Jabba, right there. Right there. That is Jabba. They had no idea what he looked like. And when they filmed the original deleted scene, it was just like a guy in like a big fur coat. But yeah, that's Jabba right there. That's him. And why did you have to fry poor Greedo like that after all we've been through together? Jabba, the next time you got something to say to me, don't send one of your blaster happy twerps. Come see me yourself. Yep, that's Jabba, right there. That's him. Han, if only you hadn't dumped that shipment of spice. Where would I be if every pilot who smuggles for me dumped his shipment at the first sign of an Imperial starship? It's not good for business. You know, even I get boarded sometimes, Jabba. I had no choice. But I got a charter now, and can pay you back, plus a little extra. I just need some more time. Wow, in an alternate universe, that's what we would have gotten. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I wonder if this design was a Marvel creation, because like you can watch the deleted scene, which I mean this is exactly like it was in the movie and in the script. And they filmed the scene, but they just had a guy in a big like fur coat basically, and he wasn't in a costume, like a alien mask costume or anything. So I wonder how they got this design, if they just made it up. I don't know. Kind of neat though. Put your blasters away, men. Han, my boy, I'm only doing this because you're the best and I need you. But if you disappoint me again, I'll put a price on your head so large that you won't be able to go near a civilized system again for the rest of your life. I'll pay you, Jabba, but not because you threaten me. I'll pay you because it's my pleasure. While on the ominous Death Star, we've started to search the Mos Eisley spaceport, Lord Vader. It's just a matter of time before we find the droids. Send in more men if you have to. It's her hope of that data being used against us that enables Princess Leia to resist the Mind Probe. When she knows it has been destroyed once and for all, she will break. There's a Star Trek ad. Same one as in the last issue, and we got these goofy things. I'll make you a master of karate. We buy and sell comics. Yep. Comic fans. Cool. At this very moment, back on Tatooine, young Luke Skywalker is voicing his first opinion of the Millennium Falcon. What a piece of junk! This ship couldn't possibly go above sublight speeds. She may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts. I've added some special modifications myself. She'll make 0.5 beyond light speed, and uh-oh, we're a little rushed. So if you folks don't mind hurrying aboard, we'll be off. Chewie, deflector shield, quick, get us out of here. Almost the next moment, the motley denizens of Mos Eisley look up and murmur among themselves in a multitude of inhuman languages. It would appear the Millennium Falcon is off for another run. Yet almost as quickly as they can be noticed on Solo's radar scope, a trio of Imperial Star Destroyers appear as if from nowhere. Our passengers must be hotter than I thought, Chewie. Giant starships, which, though still far in the distance, are fully 100 times the size of the fleeing Falcon, with a firepower which dwarfs the smaller ships nearly to the point of the infinitesimal. Stay sharp. 2 of them are trying to cut us off. Can't you outrun them? I thought you said the ship was fast. Watch your mouth, kid, or you'll... Oh, wait, that's Luke, sorry. Can't you outrun them? I thought you said the ship was fast. Watch your mouth, kid, or you'll find yourself floating home. We'll be safe enough once we've made the jump into hyperspace. Plus, I know a few maneuvers that should lose them. What? This is issue number 2. This is the second issue. Yeah, I'll show you the cover. Right there. And then issue number 1 was... Colors are nice. I love them. Yeah, and there's issue number 1 right there. Just then, the entire spacecraft shudders as a blinding explosion flashes just outside the viewports. Here's where it starts getting interesting, and even a near miss almost overcomes the phototrophic shielding. Sorry, trying to make sure it focuses okay. Boop, boop, boop. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Well, how long before you can make the jump to light speed? It'll take a few minutes for the Navi computer to calculate the coordinates. A few minutes? At the rate they're gaining? Traveling through hyperspace isn't like dusting crops, boy. Without the proper calculations, we could pass right through a star or bounce too near a supernova, and that would end our little trip real quick. What's that? We're losing a deflector shield. Strap yourselves in. We're ready to make the jump to light speed. At that instant, the ship rocks violently as 3PO holds on to his seat for dear robotic life, and R2 sways to and fro under the impact of the incoming laser blasts. I feel like I should get like maybe a soundboard or something for R2-D2 that just goes beep 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 beep. Or I could just keep saying beep-a-deep, beep-a-deep. Was this trip really necessary? I forgot how much I hate space travel. Next issue, out of hyperspace and into the Death Star. Alright, that is the end of issue number 2. Whew. Alright, cool. We're at about the 2-hour point, so yeah, it's about an hour per comic, it looks like. Okay. Well, let's put this one back in the bag. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thought you were reading just one issue of Star Wars? I read 2 issues of Star Wars today. So up next, I think we should switch gears here. That was fun? Cool, I'm glad you think so. Alright, so I did promise some Ghost Rider. So, you may be asking, why am I starting with Ghost Rider number 10? And I'll explain why. So, right here, Marvel Spotlight number 5. This is the first appearance of Ghost Rider. But my copy is graded, so I can't read it. This one's signed by Roy Thomas, who was the guy who wrote that Star Wars comic. Also, Gary Friedrich, who was Roy Thomas and Gary Friedrich co-writers of, or co-creators of Ghost Rider. But, so, Marvel Spotlight number 5 is actually reprinted in Ghost Rider number 10. The Hulk does not appear in this issue. It was a mistake. They sent out this cover to the printers accidentally, and he's not actually in this issue. He's in the issue number 11. So it's a weird thing. But this is basically just like a filler issue for the original 1973 Ghost Rider, where they just reprinted Marvel Spotlight number 5. But this will be the origin of Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider, who is not the original Ghost Rider. The original Ghost Rider was in 1949, and he was Rex Fury. It was an old Western comic, and that went on for about 5 or 6 years, and then in 1967, there was a 7-issue run, which was another Western comic called The Ghost Rider, which starred Carter Slade. But this Ghost Rider is the very first of the modern Johnny Blaze, the modern motorcycle. Right? Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the cover. This is the actual cover of what we're reading. So this is the first appearance of Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. Is he alive or dead? A legend is born. The most supernatural superhero of all. Marvel Spotlight number 5 from 1972. First appearance and origin of Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze, and first appearance of Roxanne Simpson. The 70s, what a time to be alive. Yeah. Alright, so here we go. The Ghost Rider. This one's not in the greatest condition. My Star Wars ones are in a lot better condition, but I figured I just kind of got a cheaper copy of this because it's a reprint, and I wanted to be able to read this for the stream without having to spend a lot of money on another copy of Marvel Spotlight number 5. So I'm only going to read one Ghost Rider today because my Marvel Spotlight number 6 is still in the mail. And so I'll read number 6 next week. But here is his origin. Also, hello Dojimbo. Welcome in. Samato, what's up? Hello Dojimbo Ray. Welcome in. How you doing? We are just about to start a Ghost Rider issue. The very first Ghost Rider. We are starting Marvel Spotlight number 5. The original first appearance of Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. 1972. We're reading a reprint because my original copy is graded and I can't read it. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you guys enjoy the comic, and we're about to begin here. Stan Lee presents The Ghost Rider. I think Stan Lee was editor, maybe, on this? No, edited, but... Okay, Stan Lee had nothing to do with this. It's just part of the Stan Lee Presents series. But this is The Ghost Rider. Rain. There's always been rain on your parade, hasn't there, Johnny Blaze? You're a loser, and you know it. You've always known it. It's funny, in a way. The rain started just after Roxanne walked out on you, telling you it's about time the girl grew up and became a woman. It's funny because it was raining that first night, long months ago, when agony ripped your body and soul apart. That night when Satan's curse reached up from hell and made you what you are today. Made you the Ghost Rider. So we're reading Ghost Rider number 10 because it is a reprint of Marvel Spotlight number 5. Hey, Indie Dev Guy, what's up? How you doing? Welcome in. Bet you're all wondering what this story has to do with the Hulk on the cover, huh? Well, the dreaded deadline doom has, you guessed it, struck again, but we figured this would be as good a place as any to fill in the unenlightened among you as to the origin of Johnny Blaze. So sit back, gentle readers, enjoy the mag, and hopefully we'll be back on schedule next issue. So yeah, originally presented in Marvel Spotlight 5, this is just a weird filler issue that was all messed up with the cover, and yeah. Almost a bad enough dude to rescue the president. Cool. So, conceived and written by Gary Friedrich, drawn by Mike Plug, lettered by John Costanza, aid and abetment Roy Thomas, edited by Len Wein, who was also mentioned in the Star Wars books that we were just reading. Alright, here we are. You see what is happening as you speed down a nearly deserted side street. And yet your tormented brain chooses not to see it, so you ride on. Never considering the fact that you are doomed to come into contact with mortal men, and that they are doomed to hound you, chase you, follow you into hell if necessary. Simply because they cannot understand the monstrosity you have become. That guy saw us. Might be able to identify us in court. Get in the car, Clyde. We gotta get him. He's the only witness. Suddenly, they're after you, trying to run you down. Why? Why now? Can't let anyone see me. Not like this. Have to shake them somehow. Keep them from seeing what's happening to me. We're catching up with him. Another block or so and he'll be dead meat. I hope you're right, but that glow from his head's giving me the creeps. Probably just a luminous helmet. Nothing a bullet won't stop. Street's too slick to outrun him. Have to find another way. We're closing the gap. Another block or so and watch it. He's cutting a corner. Only hope is to duck into an alley, like that one coming up ahead. No dice. They're still on my tail. Eep! He's trying to sneak off into that alley. Cut him off. Dead end, beware. They're too close. Saw me. Better be a way out of here or it's all over. A dead end. Now there's only one last chance that I can bluff that trigger-happy pair, scare them into letting me pass. The Origin of Marvel Comics by Stan Lee. It's a neat ad. And a Mighty Marvel Calendar for 1975. What's this one? Read this story if you want to get it all together when you get out of the service. One day, a few months after we both got out of the service, I ran into my old buddy Pete. Pete, how you making out? Not too good, Joe. I can't seem to hack it. No job I can get pays any money. Looks like you're doing all right, though. I'll say. I'm in electronics and have my FCC license. Electronics? How'd you work that, Joe? CIE, Pete. CIE helped me learn electronics on my off-duty hours by mail. It's the science of the 70s, man. Oh, boy. Alright. Man, I love the art in this book. It's so good. Fools, you cannot harm one who is the servant of Satan? One who controls the power of hellfire? Look, he ran the bike up that plank. He's jumping right over us. They were so high-tech in the 70s. They were, yeah. I can see, Dingbat. I can see. You've escaped. No one knows what happened to the man called Johnny Blaze. At least not yet. I've lost them, and just soon enough, the sun is rising. I have to hide my bike and then wait. 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 Yes, now. It's coming. Slowly, but I can feel it coming on. Thank God the curse isn't complete. I'm becoming... There's this transformation. He's turning back into Johnny Blaze. Now, the transformation is finished. You are human once more. But when will it happen again? When? The question eats at your soul like a cancer. It's over and my secret is safe. But what about next time? Will I ever be free? Or am I doomed to a dual life, man by day and monster by night? I have to stop thinking about it. Perhaps work. Ply your trade, Johnny Blaze. Bury your tortured mind in the deadly danger that is your livelihood. We have to do a show this afternoon. I'm to go for the world jump record. Have to concentrate on that. Madison Square Garden presents The Amazing Johnny Blaze and His Cycle Spectacular, also starring Roxanne Simpson and the world's greatest cycle daredevils. Wouldn't want to miss and die before a few thousand paying customers, now would I? Make money and win neat prizes too. Sell grit. I'll make you a master of karate for only 99 cents. These 3 big drafting kits given to you when you train at home with us for a high-paid job in drafting. Shop right here for amazing bargains. Alright. Here we go. Focus, focus, maybe. Come on. Come on. There we go. But you can't concentrate on your writing, not after what you've been through. Have to think back, try to remember how it happened, and pray I can find an answer somewhere in the past. The cycle show, that's when it all started. Great Crash Simpson, featuring Barton Blaze. Crash Simpson Daredevil Cycle Show. Crash Simpson and his flying motor, death, 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 death-defying Daredevil. The day Barton Blaze defied death once too often and paid the only price possible, his life. Your father was a brave man, Johnny. We're sorry he was killed. And since you don't have a mother, something's going to have to be done with you. If you like, you can stay with us and we'll raise you like a son. Or you can go to the orphanage. Oh, please stay with us, Johnny, please. Whatever you say, Roxanne. And so you stayed, overcame your fear of motorcycles, and longed for the day when you could ride and look death straight in the eye. Until finally that fateful day came, although Mrs. Simpson didn't approve. Don't push him, Crash. Maybe he doesn't want to ride. Oh, but you wanted to ride all right, and ride you did for 5 long years, working, practicing, and waiting for the day you could join the show. Then, when you were 15, Johnny, the bike's on fire! Jump, Rocky, jump! Get off, Johnny, it's gonna explode! I can't, have to get it out of the tent first. Don't worry about that, just save yourself. But you wouldn't listen, would you? The cycle show was your life, and you had to save it. That's what you were thinking about, the thing that kept you from seeing the tree. Who else wants a He-Man body, huh? Huh? Be taller. You can stand 2 to 6 inches taller in a few weeks. All ages, no gimmicks. Enjoy an exciting romantic look. Impressive anytime. Send for mustache, sideburns, and Van Dyke at once. There's just like stick-on mustaches or something? What the hell? Giant 7-foot tall monster robot. These ads are great. Oh, jeez. Train at home for a big income career in accounting. Yours free, 40 red China stamps. Karate, Judo, Savate, Jiu-Jitsu. Home import business, make big profits. Genuine police handcuffs. Free shoes. Hypnotize any TV set. Or hypnotize with any TV set. Oh my gosh. Surveying pays big. Electric guitar and amp. Oh man. Johnny, are you hurt? Get back, this thing's going to explode any second. Boom! Mother! She wasn't even related to you. Still, she'd raised you and given her life for you. Johnny, I must speak to Johnny. Come closer, please. So there was no way you could deny her last request. Johnny, promise me you'll never write in the show. Promise me, please. I promise you, Mother. I always wanted to call you that. Now, it's too late. But she never heard you speak that cherished name. Death came quickly. Once you had made that final vow, the vow you couldn't get out of your mind, as you knelt beside the fresh blanket of earth which covered her. Even as you tried to comfort poor Roxanne, you couldn't drive away that burning thought that you could never ride again. Never know the thrill of death hurtling toward you at 100 miles an hour. No, not even grief and the cold, driving rain could make you forget. But you kept your promise. 5 years since my wife died, and you haven't ridden since. I'm starting to think you're yella. You, Rocky, even you doubt my courage. What else can I do, Johnny, even though I don't want to believe it? You won't ride? There's only one reason for it I can think of. Cowardice. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm chicken, so let's leave it at that. You couldn't leave it at that, though. As the show got bigger, the applause grew louder. The stunts became more dangerous. You stood in the shadows and watched, cheated of fame and fortune by a promise to a dying woman. Then it hit you. You promised not to ride in the show. Nothing was said about riding for your own satisfaction, so you started to practice. Late at night, when no one was watching you, at least no one you knew of. It's a weird, crazy stunt there. Oh. Wild. Morning. Another city, another hotel room, and a simple phone call. A call which will change your life more drastically than you can ever know. Oh, hi, Alfie. Any news on the big one? Or is this another social call? What? You really got it? You wouldn't put us on. I'll call you right back. We've done it! Madison Square Garden! Then, this is it, the biggest showcase in the world. No practice today? Today we celebrate. How about it, Crash? After all these years of struggling, the Crash Simpson Cycle Spectacular has hit the top. Yeah, you're right. Big deal. I risk my life every day for 30 years. And then finally, when I reach my goal, the doc tells me I may not live to see it. Daddy, what are you saying? What do you mean that? That's it, baby. Doc Warren gives me a month at the most. Good Lord, the show, without you? Can't be, there must be some mistake. It's no mistake. I've got the disease. He doesn't say what disease, he just, I got the disease. And it's going to get me. All I can do now is wait and wish I had a son to take over. But Johnny's been like a son to you. He can take over, can't you, Johnny? No way. You know I can't, even if I wanted to. Then it's true. It must be true. You're a coward. Go ahead and keep your promise, but it'll cost you my love forever. So you're gonna let me down even in the end. Get out of here, boy. Please, just go. But you couldn't. You couldn't go. Not when they needed you. Still, There was no one you could turn to. No one except Satan. That is such a hard turn. Just all of a sudden, there's no one you could turn to except for Satan. Whew, alright. Yes, this is the only way, even though I'm afraid. Since childhood, you'd read of him and the miracles he could perform. Now you were ready to face him. Appear, O Prince of Darkness, your humble servant beckons. So yeah, this, so... the early Ghost Rider comics upset a lot of parents. Because they were very heavy in, like, Satanist stuff. It's, yeah, it was, they quickly changed his name to Mephisto. They, so even today, Satan is still called Mephisto in Marvel Comics, just to avoid the, controversy. That escalated rather quickly. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Alright, he's even got a flaming, like, cow skull or something here? Maybe it's a flaming goat skull. I'm not sure. Through time eternal, through endless space, I beg thee, journey to this place. He's got a pentagram on the ground and everything. The icy hand of fear grips your gut like a vice as the hot wind of evil fills the room. Then as the life in your sacred candle suddenly is snuffed out, you know that he has arrived. You have called and Satan has answered. From the depths of hell, I come to aid him who will serve me. Yes, yes, grant my wish, and I will serve you faithfully through all eternity. I ask only that Crash Simpson be spared from the deadly disease which is killing him. It is done! But be warned, one day soon I will return to collect my fee. Most people turn to therapy, maybe a close friend, maybe even God. Not Johnny. He can only rely on Satan. I mean Mephisto. It reminds me of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah, I don't know why it was all of a sudden just... There's only one person I can turn to. Satan, of course. Then quickly as it began, it ended. The room cools, and the sickening stench of death fades from your nostrils. The sacred candle burns once more, and you know that he is gone. The bargain has been sealed. You know only one end, and yet you feel strangely relieved, as if a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders. Crash will live, and perhaps Roxanne will love you again. The origin of Ghost Rider kind of reminds me a little bit of the origin of Spawn. I mean, it's a little bit different, but there are some similarities. If the Master gives you time, if 3 weeks pass and you find yourself in New York, Madison Square Garden. Johnny, it's Dad, come quick, you have to stop him. Me? How can a coward like me keep him from doing anything? Please, Johnny, he thinks this may be his last performance. He's announced that he'll try for the world's cycle jump record. But he can't. He's good, but not good enough. Okay, let's find him. Are you off your rocker, Crash? You're gonna kill yourself. So what? If I'm gonna go, it's gonna be here, on my bike, not in some hospital bed. Oh, hey, we got a little ad here. 3-dimensional Marvel Superheroes action set. That actually looks kind of cool. The Amazing Spider-Man swings into web-slinging action against Kraven the Hunter. The Incredible Hulk takes on the hordes of Hydra. And you create these lifelike situations yourself with these exciting new model kits. Each kit is 8 to 12 inches high, with complete assembly instructions, background diorama, and a never-before-published comic book by Len Wein, John Romita, and Herb Trimpe. It's a new era in hobby kits. Order today. Spider-Man toys, ideal for gifts. Marvel Superheroes. They're 8 inches and made of durable, bendable, posable plastic with costumes made of real cloth. Make up your own Marvel comic adventures. We got a Kung Fu Fighter, push button action with real kick and chop motion. A Spidey squirt gun. So who says we have a monopoly helping Santa? We got Spidey Foam, world famous crazy foam in the wildest container ever. A Spider-Man stunt cycle, gyro-powered. It jumps, flips, somersaults, and does hundreds of Daredevil stunts. This Spider-Mobile, battery-operated Spider-Man dune buggy, as seen in the comic book themselves. Never finished high school? Now you can get a diploma without going back. Okay, I'm not going to read that whole thing. Alright. This way, when people remember me, they'll remember I died with my leathers on. You're talking crazy, Dad. Johnny, do something. She's right, Crash. You can't go through with it. And who's gonna stop me? Not a gutless kid I raised like a son, that's for sure. Okay, hardhead. You called me names for the last time. Had to put on a show, though I know he's in no real danger. I have the devil's word on it. Still, can even he get a bike over 22 cars? You have faith, and yet you doubt, as the hours until showtime crawl by. Then you stand helpless in the shadows, and the moment of truth is upon you. A quick upward flick of the thumb, a sign that Crash Simpson does care. Then a deafening roar, a cloud of dust, a cheer from the crowd, and silence, save for the whine of the Harley's engine and the pounding of your own heart. Look at him fly, look at him fly. Woo, he's going, he's going. Crash, oh Lord, Crash! Damn, his shirt got all torn up. Man. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Oh, then we got some more ads here. Free catalog of flying model rockets. The key to your future. Be a locksmith. Comics bought and sold. Extra income. Do Houdini magic. Imported birds for hunting. Falcons, hawks, eagles, and owls. Sorry, no birds of prey native to North America. What the hell? He's hot. Crash Simpson? You think so? He's pretty muscular. He's a beefy dude. Have you seen any ads for baby alligators? Not in this one, but we will see some in the when we get to the 1960s stuff. There is an ad here for 25 live seahorses. Guaranteed live delivery. Yeah, there's some ads for, you can mail order monkeys as well. And baby raccoons and stuff like that. But we'll get to those once we get to the 60s. My dad got one from a comic when he was a kid. Oh, a baby alligator? I spent, I was up till, 5 in the morning one night, just up all night reading stories about people who mail-ordered pets from comic books, like the monkeys and stuff. You were supposed to get sea monkeys and they never came in? Aww, that's sad. That's sad. Poor little sea monkeys. He said it bit the shit out of him and he had to oh no, he had to flush it? Oh god. That's horrible. That's horrible. Damn. Yeah, most of these comic book mail order pets stories end terribly. Most of them are horrible. Just horrible. Nothing went went well for these animals. My dad actually has a story. A friend he knew, who was like a next door neighbor, mail ordered a monkey from a comic book in the '60s, and like it came in a big wooden box with some holes in it, and it was just like it was all drugged up, so it was like super loopy and slow and like didn't know what the hell was going on. And then, of course, the drugs wear off, and then it's just like a wild monkey, and so it just goes crazy and it starts scratching the hell out of everyone. And they open the front door and it just runs out and they never see it again. So depressing and terrifying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, like I've read so many stories about that. That one was my dad's story, but I've read so many stories about these people who mail ordered pet monkeys, and they just almost all of them end with a monkey just like running off into the forest or something terrible happening. It's actually a good ending because monkeys can kill people. How what the fuck are you gonna do with a pissed off monkey? Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Absolutely terrible. Just yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the story. You watch in stunned silence as the mangled, broken body is placed on a stretcher, and you listen to Roxanne's agonized sobs. So this is how the master keeps his promises. Then, blinded by rage and grief, you know what you must do. Tell the announcer to hold the crowd, Sam. I'm gonna make the jump. All sense of time is lost to you, and suddenly the glare of the spotlight is upon you. You're oblivious to the gasps of the crowd, even to the screams of Roxanne, as one thought burns in your mind. You must make the jump for him. Oh, sorry. Johnny, no! Please don't do it, don't! Satan, are you there? It's me again. Blood races through your temples. Fear grips your heart. You feel the bike lose contact with the ground, and a thrill surges throughout your body. A thrill like you've never experienced before as you soar through space, knowing at the end there will be triumph or death. Now you begin to fall, a rapid drop, perhaps too rapid, but no, you've done it. You're the champion, and the thick nectar of success is intoxicating beyond belief. Then at your highest ebb, how is that? Not bad for a coward, huh? How could you? After Dad... I'm leaving. The show is yours now, but I never want to see you again. Rocky, wait! I only did it for you. Suddenly, the roar of the crowd is meaningless, and you seek the solace of your dressing room and the answers you pray silence can bring you. But there is to be no peace, no silence, for as you close your eyes, a hot wind engulfs you, a wind you know you have felt before. You double-cross me, then appear again. You got a lot of gall, devil. Silence, weakling. I kept my bargain. The mortal did not die of the disease. Now I claim my reward, your very soul. What the fuck ever? Make up your mind. I knew that deal with Satan was too good to be true. Yeah. Oh, hey, we got here, what is this? Gold Crown. You receive a complete game. Medieval fighting men in all battle positions, fully equipped with all the weapons and protection of the age in beautiful gold, black, and silver. You get armored barons, catapults, boulders, goat head rams, double door castle gates, drawbridges, large regal king's crown, an arrow spinner, and a full large battlefield. Oh, and there's also Tank Trap, a complete game. 64 combat men and HQ commanders, 25 tank mines, 6 exploding tanks, a huge battlefield, tank barriers, simple directions, 3D plastic, safe and reusable. That sounds awesome. For $1.79? Sweet. That looks badass. It does, yeah. First, Johnny's a coward, then he goes to suck Satan's cock. Now he's too reckless, and he has to suck Satan's cock again. Roxy's an asshole. Mighty Marvel strikes again. First, the spectacular Spider-Man. Next, the fabulous Fantastic Four. Now, the power-packed Prince of Asgard lashes out in his own king-size special with pardonable pride. Your batty bullpen presents the latest, possibly the greatest of its double-sized Treasury editions. I gotta do a Treasury edition reading sometime. Those things are huge. You can't see because I've... Wait. My hands. I'm trying to show with my hands, but it's... I mean, I can't because it's bigger than the screen. They're huge. They're awesome. Alright, let's... That does look pretty badass. Alright. Here we go. From this day forth, you will walk the earth as my emissary in the dark hours, and in the light, you will join me in Hades. No! No! But as you feel the flesh burning from your face, as you scream in agony, a door opens, and the one being who can save you enters. Johnny, I wanted to... No, no! I suspected it, but I didn't want to believe it. And while the fire in your brain rages out of control, she flung herself across you. Back, O foul denizen of the depths, as the cross is to the vampire, so is the presence of one pure in heart to you. Disappear, I command you, or the forces of good within me will destroy you. I depart, cursed woman, but I shall return to claim what is owed me. Once more the wind fades, the odor disappears, and the fiery pain dies. It's all right, darling. He's gone, never to return as long as I stay with you. But I don't understand. How did you know? Though you never realized it, I read your books on Satan when you weren't around. And when I entered the room, well, I knew exactly what to do. Thank God. Oh, Rocky, I love you. Don't talk, darling. Just hold me. Yes, nestled in her arms, you feel so safe, so free, but the following night, as darkness steals over the city, head throbbing, feels like I'm burning with fever. Could it be? What in... No, oh Lord, don't let it happen. For what seems like an eternity, the searing pain brings you to the brink of insanity. Then suddenly, it subsided, but you know something has changed. And you rush to a mirror to find... No! When the shock begins to ebb, you know what you must do. You have to run, get away, not let anyone see you, not like that. So you flee into the night, not realizing you've been seen. Hey, what the devil's that? I don't know about you, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't see a thing. Thus it ends, the deadly waking dream, which has seemed so real, so palpable. Yes, ends, only to become the living nightmare it has been for 3 weeks now. A nightmare which seemingly never will end, a curse from which there is no escape, a horrifying trap from which death would seem a sweet respite. Where can I go? What can I do? When I know that each night I'll look, feel like that. I've changed all the shows to matinees and told Rocky I'm practicing at night. But how much longer can I get away with it? How long before the world finds out? There's your answer. Those thugs told the police about me, and I'm being hunted. The Daily. Is that the Daily Bugle? Hold up killers caught. Tell of mysterious ghostwriter. I can't read the rest of it. Have to leave. Get out of New York. That is the Daily Bugle. That's J. Jonah Jameson's paper. Nice. There must be some place I can hide and think. But before you can flee, it is time. I must have slept all day. It's night again, and I'm changing. Changing to the Ghost Rider. So it was in the beginning, so it is tonight. Now and forever, Johnny Blaze is the Ghost Rider, and he rides the way of his destiny alone. This is how the saga of Johnny Blaze began so many issues ago. To see where it's going, get a hold of the next issue, wherein finally the Ghost Rider meets the Hulk. So that little part there was actually added in because this is issue number 10, because issue 11 is when the Hulk actually appears. But we're not there yet. We were reading Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider. And next week I'll have my copy of Marvel Spotlight number 6, and we will read from there in order. So the Ghost Rider stories start at Marvel Spotlight 5, and they continue all the way until Marvel Spotlight number 11, and then starts with Ghost Rider number 1, which is his first actual series. But yeah, that was the Ghost Rider. The first appearance and origin. Whew. All right. So next week we'll do some more Ghost Rider. Hope you guys enjoyed the Tale of Satan. It's pretty goofy there. All right.